I would like to thank to the University of Hawaii. So the university invite us, especially Mr. Larry Reed, the director and the owner of the satellite production in San Francisco, and I, Sumandhi, and my wife came from Bali exact a month ago. We arrived here in the country. So for today presentation, I have a plan, but I hope working, because I still a problem with my laptop. So I hope the laptop will work. So I would like to talk about the dances on the island of Bali and how it happened and where they perform, sort of like that. But if you come over there, you can find many different, performing art, music, and vocal song like that in the island of Bali. So I myself, I don't know even East Bali style of song. And also we do have the dialect of Balinese among Balinese. South Bali and North Bali is different little bit. So sometimes, it's too much to learn by myself as a Balinese. I cannot learn the whole what we have in Bali. So the dances, we have the traditional one, the classical one, and some of the modern composition, new creation of dances we have in Bali. The dance, how they started. Let's say I count the dances before 1960 and after 1960. Why I said 1960? This is special edition. In Bali, we don't have formal school before 1960. Formal, it means mostly the people in Bali to get or to make a group organization of dancers by studying in villages by a special teacher. And how they start, usually, this is just make example in one village. The head village who need a group of dancers, they have to select their people around, maybe start from very young or kid like that, who has talent about the dance, moving, or talent playing music. Because our dance always, music there. So never dance without music, or our theater always with music too. So when they select, let's say a kid or children or the young generation, and they appoint it, and then they collect how many people they got and make a group, what we call circle in Bali, a club like that. And after they have that the group, they have to find a teacher specialized from other village or from the same village. So this is the education, non-formal education has limit time, never more than 6 months. 6 months, according to Balinese calendar, that kind of 7 months our normal, we use 6 months of Balinese way of, our calendar. Why 6 months? Because we believe the Galungan, the special celebration in Bali, that is the limit time. Therefore, the people rehearse or training or practice dance or whatever in theater, and therefore after Galungan they make first performance for the public. They have to do what you call blast pass. What's a blast pass? This kind of the first performance for the public. That's all always before Galungan big celebration in Bali. So that's why every 6 months they have to do that one. Therefore, the class or rehearsal, more than the 6 months. 6 months is our limit. Sometimes we choose already the grow up. I mean, the older than this this person. So make a group. For instance, like if we are making like a performance like topeng, mass dance, or arja, opera, or gamu performance, there should be the older woman or older dancer, man, performer. So we choose the older one. So after 6 months, they have to perform the first public performance. Whatever in Bali, we doing, always there is a ceremony preceded before he perform for first public. So like the topeng dancer or maybe puppeteer dalang has to do like the ceremony, what we call the wedding ceremony with their mask or their puppet like that. So and then after that they may perform for the public. And when they want or what called to perform, all the member has to do a kind of ceremony. The hope, there is a special hope to the God who play the performance smooth and successful during the perform. So always we do like that in Bali. So the reason why, because we are mostly our people are Hindu people, so that is our our priest or our older people suggest has to do ceremony whatever you doing, especially the performance. So that is before 1960. We do have several different performances, as I mentioned. Let's say started in 1914 or 15, like that. That is new modern composition, what we call Kebiar style, Kebiar dances. So they have during that time. So the rehearsal is the education. Always, as I said, they train in the village, make a temporary building for the rehearsal, and they get the teacher from outside to bring home to train our group, our members. And then, since 1960, our government was thinking about to create or to make a performer the sort of late, if just waiting for the older young generation or the older to start with. So that's why since 1960 they open or starting the formal school, new education, where I was started over there at what we call the school called Conservatory Karawitan. That was started in 1960. I attended the school in 1961. The school, because just started at that time, of course, still try to adjust between the old tradition, way how to teach, and also make a new method how to teach the student at our school. But still, our teacher mostly come from villages. They are just part-time teacher. Still, the method still in the old tradition. For instance, like to bend the back of the student, like maybe step at the back like that. It's very hard, So gradually, we try to adjust that method. We don't use it anymore. We put sign at our school, what your mirror. So we just tell the student, look, your body, your head should be like this, your head like this. Just never force, for the training. So that in 1960, where I was started studying music and dance, I learned you just, as I said, just beginning school, the teacher has their method, old tradition, always just one particular dance, never change. Now this semester, next semester, it changes that one, always like that for a couple of years, it's always the same. And then, after that, we make kind of more, what call information from other school. It was in Jawa also, the same school, kind of, this is vocation, high school level. We have also in Jawa. So we try to get information, how the best way to train, to teach our students in our school. So we try to adjust, at our school, the way of training, teaching the student. And then that was lucky in 1970s, like that, one of our person, have experience to study in this country. You got, training in this country, also to get the method, how nice also to bring to Bali. So this what they got here, they bring the method how to teach our young generation in Bali. The student who may come to our school only after 16 years old. So that means after secondary school. The younger than that cannot go to our school. So that's why the younger people or the older than 20 years has to find another way. And then in 1967 they opened the another, not my school was called high school level, and then the academy level. So for there they train the student more and more kind of influence from from foreign way how to teach the student, or create something, dance, compose something, dance like that. And usually in the past, children, young, children dance when at our school. Now mostly older, like 16, 17 or 20 years old, still dance. And then for instance, like, can you get the pendant? This one, our student already growing up. Since that time, our dancer now getting bigger and bigger, starting to perform. Used to be children, now because of the they start